Hi, welcome. Here we are with our first assignment of the semester, the argument of fact essay. So before I get into this, let me just explain that this is what we call a prompt, okay? The prompt is essentially the assignment sheet. It defines for us what the expectations are of this assignment. If you ever have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me to ask. Okay, that's very important to understand right from the beginning. Now, the argument of fact essay is to be a minimum of 1,000 words long, which means, of course, it can be over 1,000 words, in which you present and support an argument of fact as defined in Everything's an Argument, Chapter 8. So that is our textbook, obviously, for the class. Chapter 8 is the chapter in our textbook that does deal with this type of argument. So please read that chapter and read it very carefully. Your essay must cite a minimum of 4 sources. Okay, so you need to have at least 4 sources based in research. Obviously, again, minimum is not maximum. You can have more than 4. Now, 3 of those sources must be sources that originate in print or have print analogs. What do I mean by that? I mean it must be a book, a newspaper, a magazine, an academic journal, a government report, or some other source that originated in print. Now, how you get that may, of course, be through the magic of the internet, right? And, of course, we have here at Mesa College our library, the LRC as we fondly refer to it, which subscribes to dozens, if not over 100 different databases. And these databases are all chock full of these kind of sources, okay? So there is no excuse not to be able to get to these. Okay, now in addition to those 3, you can have other sources that you find on the internet or elsewhere. But don't forget, quality is always important. No matter where you get something from, it should be a credible, reliable source. Now, these sources must be presented in correct MLA fashion with parenthetical in-text documentation and a works cited page. Do not use APA format or any other format. Dictionaries, encyclopedias, and other general reference works do not count as sources, although I should make clear they may be used, okay, but they don't count towards your 4. At least 2 sources must be from dissertations, scholarly journals, or university press books. This is what we call scholarly material. So you need to have at least 2 scholarly sources in your essay. Your essay must contain at least 1 table or figure properly noted and incorporated into the text. Found on the MLA website, and here I have a link right here where it says MLA format. You can click on that bad boy. Or you can just go to it on your own, of course, at MLA.org. It's not that hard. And, of course, on our Canvas page, our Canvas website, I should say, I do have a section in modules for web links, and it does include the link to the MLA website also. You must also provide a word count of your essay at the end of the text. So, tell me how long your paper is in terms of words. It's really easy nowadays. You don't have to physically count them anymore. It should be very easy to access depending on which word processing you're using. Do not include the name block, word cited page entries, or table figure in the word count because they tend to balloon the count. Now, the topic will be a topic of your own choosing, but just as a reminder, there are a few topics that are off limits: abortion, death penalty, child abuse, and religion. I don't take papers on any of those topics. Certainly, there are many other topics to choose from. Remember, good writing begins with good ideas, but good ideas are not easy to find. Now, I will be creating work groups to which you will submit a rough draft on Wednesday, June 28th. A little bit more than a week from today, for peer editing within the group. This draft should be as full and complete as possible, meeting all the minimum standards required for the assignment. The more work you put into the draft, the better your final draft will be. Okay, and it just makes clear sense. If you choose to wait to the last minute to do all your work, it tends to show. Okay? Based on previous experience, I can tell you that the difference in the grades of essays that have been peer edited and those that have not is striking. Be sure to consult the out-of-class paper guidelines, which is a handout that's available to you on Canvas, and the MLA handbook, or again, my MLA papers that we have, right? The format sheet. I don't expect you to have the handbook. Oh, if you do, that's great too. And again, you always go to Purdue OWL or the MLA.org website itself, which again, we have links to on our Canvas website under modules/web links, so that you avoid errors in presentation and style. The peer editing is to be done by Friday, April 30th, 11:59 p.m. You will need to revise and polish your essay and turn in the final draft on Monday, July the 3rd, 11:59 p.m. No late essays will be accepted without a verifiable medical or legal excuse. This is, after all, why we do online materials, so you can get the stuff done on your own time, but on time as well. Okay, this is not turn it in whenever you feel like it kind of situation. Now again, let's just walk through the minimum requirements, because it's always super important. You need to have at least 1,000 words in this essay, and that only includes the words of your composition, not the other stuff like the works cited page. At least 4 sources, all cited in the paper, but again, you can always have more. At least 3 of those sources must originate in print. At least 2 of those sources are scholarly works. Okay, and again, you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone, as mostly scholarly works will also qualify as originating in print. The essay has a table or figure, properly done. Now, I get a lot of questions about the table and figure thing. Not only just how to do it, which again, I'm asking you to look that up on the MLA format website, but where are you going to find these? Well, typically, almost all of my students find these sources during the course of doing their research. And they say, oh, look, there's a table. Oh, look, there's a picture, right? There's a graph. There's a pie chart, whatever it is you want to use. Very seldom do you have to make these up yourself. Okay, very, very seldom. I mean, it happens and it can be done. There's nothing wrong with doing that if, again, you're using materials from credible sources to create those tables or figures. Okay, but for the most part, they're already in the sources that you're reading. And of course, as I said already, make sure that you use MLA documentation for both the in-text and the works cited page. Any use of APA, Chicago, Turabian, or any of the other types of documentation sources will not be acceptable, and your grade will be significantly lowered for doing that. Okay, there we are. Once again, please do not hesitate to contact me if you have any questions about what's on this assignment sheet, this prompt. Thank you, and hey, good luck.